Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WWE SmackDown live post show right here on the Ango channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with you. I am very happy with tonight's episode, and I want to talk about it. Can't wait to talk about it. So, with that being said, I do appreciate you guys coming through, spending some time with me tonight. I honestly do not know at all whatsoever at all, to be honest, how long I'm going to be streaming tonight. I rolled my ankle in soccer today, and it's just been in quite a bit of pain. So hopefully we can go through this and we can have a good time. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Sam Piboon already dropping a super chat to kick things off. He says at $4.99, when will we see Jade Cargill be on TV? I hope before WrestleMania. And this is a great question. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm very intrigued to see what they end up doing here, though, because WWE SmackDown ended very hot tonight. Very hot. So I don't know what exactly their plan is. I don't know how they plan on going about it. But Damage Control is running SmackDown. They need some baby faces. They need some people to bring some credibility to the babyface roster. Let's just give credit where it's due. This is something that is not typical in WWE, but I want to bring this up. Last week on SmackDown, we saw Naomi and Bianca backstage, right? And Naomi was feeling bad about what's happened to Bayley. And Bianca Belair, on the other hand, doesn't really care because at the end of the day, Bayley used to be the bad guy. She used to be a heel. And because of that, it's actually been really cool because Naomi came out tonight to make the save when Bayley was getting her ass beat. And the crowd was chanting for EST, EST. But guess what? Bianca Belair was not there. And basically the point of this is that you're starting to see Triple H and WWE's booking essentially tell you that there is consequences and there is problems and issues for people's past actions, right? So I wanted to bring that up. I see Cedric in the chat also mentioned, he says, slow burn on Bianca turning heel. I don't know if this is necessarily a heel turn, which is what's intriguing to me. I genuinely don't know. It could be a heel turn. We could be potentially getting there. But at the same time, too, this is just logical because Bianca could forget about the past and she could forgive Bayley. That's the way WWE used to be. But in 2024, Triple H is trying to show you guys on TV that everybody has consequences for their actions before, regardless if they are a babyface or a heel right now. So I do appreciate that. And going back to the Jade Cargill thing, I think this is actually intriguing because Bianca, Jade, Naomi, Bayley, Damage Control, I think a lot of this is going to tie in together. So I do want Jade Cargill on TV. I hope it is soon, but I don't want them to just put her on TV just for the sake of putting her on TV, if that makes sense. So I do look forward to seeing how that goes. Obviously, I don't know what to expect. Sam, thank you for the super chat, guys. As always, if you want a guaranteed shout out, you could drop a super chat or become a member. Definitely appreciated. I don't know at all why YouTube is not pushing out this live stream to my viewers. So it is a very strange, weird thing that is happening. But I am bringing that up because for some reason this live stream is not getting pushed out. And that is just really strange. It doesn't typically happen here. So if you guys could click that like button, I would greatly appreciate it because it looks like YouTube is broken. But either way, I'm going to continue talking about SmackDown. And, there's a lot to talk about. So let's talk about The Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, The Rock kicked off SmackDown, 15-minute segment. The Rock had a concert tonight. Before we get to the concert and the contents within the concert, I just want to simply tell you guys, WWE absolutely killed it with The Rock's new theme. His entrance is so cool. His old theme song and modern day theme song is like merged together, kind of. It's like a remix. I don't really even know how to explain it, but it's really dope. Really dope. The Rock comes out. He has some incredible presentation. The electricity runs wild, right? The lightning strikes and everything. The theme song, everything is very cool with The Rock. He comes out, he does this concert, and just total heel fashion. Just he goes hard, right? Now, he's taking shots at Stardust, and he's taking shots at the family, and he's taking shots at Cody Rhodes' mother. And I just find this to be really good content, in my opinion. Like, I genuinely feel like The Rock being a heel in 2024 is turning out to be an amazing storyline. But today, WWE did something interesting. They did something very interesting, and I wanted to talk about this because they keep mentioning the final boss. Okay? And I want to bring this up for a variety of reasons. Give me 1 second, because I want to actually fix this on the stream. Let's see how this works. Okay. Is my video not working anymore now? My webcam probably froze, right? No? Maybe? How about now? Fixed? Maybe? Okay, my webcam went out, maybe? Okay, this is not good. We're having problems, guys. Not good, not good. Alrighty. So, oh, there we go. We are back. Sorry about that. Okay. Where was I at before? Now my computer and everything froze. Okay, that was really strange. Sorry about that, guys. But the whole thing with The Rock, right? They keep making a big deal out of The Rock being the final boss. That's not something they've done before. Now they're doing it. They're making it very, very clear that The Rock and Roman is the plan for WrestleMania 41. And I have been saying this for a minute, that should be the plan. And it makes sense, right? The Rock turning heel, Roman Reigns turns babyface. There's massive plans. Obviously, that is very clear. The Rock going after Cody actually feels bigger than Roman Reigns. And the big concern here is that Roman Reigns is being taken out of the spotlight. And people are complaining about that. Well, good. He should be out of the spotlight. That is actually the beautiful part about this. Roman Reigns should not be the big deal right now. In fact, Roman Reigns is the fucking idiot. I'm just being honest. He's the idiot. He's the idiot. Because what did Roman Reigns do? He dapped up The Rock. The Rock was there on the press conference, shaking hands and hugging Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, dumb as hell for doing that, because guess what? The Rock came in and took his spotlight. This is the idea that WWE is trying to convey to you on television. And it is fantastic because Cody and The Rock and Seth Rollins in the tag team match seems like a bigger deal than Cody finishing the story. So when Roman Reigns does lose to Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 41, 1 year in the making, is already set. This is good storytelling. WWE is knocking it out of the park here. I have to give them credit where it's due, because ultimately that's what they're doing. They are making me interested. The Rock doing the concert, everybody's going to have mixed opinions. I felt like it was fine. Like, it was exactly what it was supposed to be. He got out his shots. He talked a lot of stuff. He talked a lot of shit. He sang and sang and sang. Cody Rhodes is a mistake. The crowd was going crazy. He even took some shots at John Morant because they were in Memphis. The Rock is a very good heel. In fact, I pray that they never turn him babyface again, because he is just so freaking good as a heel. So WWE is very, very good at what they're doing here. They are orchestrating a massive storyline where Roman Reigns is no longer the big deal. And people are saying, well, that's really disrespectful considering the reign he's had. No, don't throw away your logic here. That's what I say. If you're a wrestling fan, don't throw away your logic here. Look at Roman Reigns. He was the one who accepted The Rock showing up and The Rock doing all of these things. And I feel like we need to have this conversation. We need to have this conversation about Roman Reigns taking a backseat to The Rock, because when we get that massive storyline, you accomplish two things. One, you get the biggest match of all time, but you also don't need the championship on the line. Go back to my content a year ago. Go back to my content 2 years ago. Go back to my content 6 months ago, 3 months ago. Wasn't I saying Rock and Roman doesn't need the belt? So whether WWE intended this or not, I don't know if I should be giving them credit or not, but I think what they've done here has been really excellent, because you're establishing, hey, Cody's going to be the champion after WrestleMania. And then you're establishing, hey, there's going to be another big chapter to the Bloodline storyline. And that's what WWE needs to do. You need to continue the Bloodline stuff. There's a reason why ticket sales 8 consecutive sellouts for WWE. There's a reason why they keep selling out. There's a reason why they keep doing this stuff. They are massively successful. Regardless of what I tell you guys, regardless of my opinion, or Cedric, or Chester, or Art, or Miggy, Adam, I see you guys in the chat. Regardless of our opinions, people are buying tickets. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think WWE's product is incredibly strong these days. I do. I genuinely believe that. But it's important that you get the title off of Roman. Now, WWE historically has done a really good job of having champions chase, right? These baby faces, they go on the chase. They're the hero. They eventually win the title, and then everything sucks right after. This will be a massive challenge for Triple H and the company. But I don't think it's going to be a big concern, because if you watch WWE from bottom to the top, guys who aren't even competing for a title have really good storylines. Look at Karrion Kross in The Final Testament and Bobby Lashley in Street Profits, right? Look at all of these other stories that are happening. LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. There's a lot of cool stuff that is happening there. We have to acknowledge that. So I do hope that WWE gets it right. If Cody Rhodes wins the belt, they better have a good plan for him after the fact. Now, I also want to throw out there something else in regards to The Rock and the Bloodline stuff. Next week's SmackDown, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes is face-to-face, which likely means we won't see The Rock, which is fine. We don't need The Rock every single week. As long as he's active, he's doing the social media stuff, he's doing his thing, it's completely fine. But Roman versus Cody Rhodes will be face-to-face next week. Oh, I totally expect Cody Rhodes to get into the head of Roman Reigns, right? The whole final boss thing, like I said, that's not an accident. They are doing some really good stuff there. Miggy Sato says, I love their storytelling right now, even mid-card and ladies. Yeah, there is just a lot of stories happening from the top to the bottom. That's really what's happening here. Whether people want to admit it, it's becoming great content. It's becoming very easy to watch and to digest. And I'll tell you guys, to add to what Miggy has said, but I feel like it used to be a chore to watch WWE. Now, like, it's in the past year and a half, it's like I've actually enjoyed it. But then what's even funnier is The Rock joins and it even got better. Like, there's just this whole different vision to WWE these days where it's like absolutely fire. I also want to point out too, it's a side note, but WWE had a little segment with Wade Barrett. So they were showing the crowd having signs while in attendance. And there was like people with a sign of Cody slapping The Rock and all these different things, right? Everybody's got signs. WWE is now encouraging you to bring more signs to WWE shows, and they're going to highlight it on their broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fucking Attitude Era 2.0. Better, because the storytelling in the Attitude Era was kind of ass, to be honest with you. It's nowhere near this level of logic and consistency. So WWE is like, they're trying to get back to a little bit of that grittiness. They're trying to get back. Look at the way they're presenting the video boards and the logos and all of these different things. Literally, it's amazing to see that WWE is firing on all cylinders. But now they're encouraging signs, which we all know. We've had conversations on the channel about wrestlers, signs supporting certain wrestlers or whatever it might be, being removed from the crowd. So very, very cool stuff there. In regards to the Bloodline thing, one more thing I want to mention about the Bloodline too. They did a backstage segment with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa walking backstage. Kayla cuts off Paul Heyman. He's funny as hell, as usual. His reaction is hilarious. But they have this interaction, and basically she was asking Paul Heyman about the Bloodline's response to Jey Uso's challenge. Very cool. Jimmy Uso comes out very, very serious. And he's basically big broing Jey Uso. I like seeing Jimmy being funny and comedic in those backstage segments with the Bloodline. But at the same time, too, I do love this approach of him being a little bit more serious in a feud with his brother. I want to see them go face-to-face in a promo battle. I want to see how they get Rikishi involved or however else they go about this. What was funny was Jey Uso and Jimmy. Now we're building this, right? Between Raw and SmackDown, they have been building this. But Solo Sikoa left Jimmy, and so did Paul Heyman. And so I think that is crazy to me. There is clearly something that they're planning here. I don't know what it is, but I think Solo Sikoa, he might not have a match at WrestleMania, but he's going to clearly be part of WrestleMania, especially in this match. Maybe he's going to leave both of his brothers completely and go on his own. I don't know. I could see that being the case. Who knows what they do with Solo Sikoa, but I think he's a wild card. Definitely remember this part of the stream, because when WrestleMania comes, we'll talk about that, especially for the prediction show. But yeah, that match has been confirmed for WrestleMania 40. Another match that's been confirmed for WrestleMania 40, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Styles versus LA Knight. And this was really cool. LA Knight comes out, gets a massive pop. Again, not really shocking. LA Knight continues to get the pops, but he gets this massive pop. And then on top of that, he's by the entrance ramp next to the crowd with Kayla Braxton, and he's getting interviewed, and he just wants to talk himself. As he's about to talk and deliver this promo and all this stuff, AJ Styles comes from behind, hits him with a steel chair. The challenge is obviously made for WrestleMania. AJ Styles accepts the challenge. Now at WrestleMania, LA Knight versus AJ Styles is confirmed. Also, in addition to WrestleMania 40, you now have to factor in this tag team tournament, right? Okay, tag team tournament. We saw LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. There's a bracket. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But Legado del Fantasma won. They're not necessarily headed to WrestleMania just yet. We're going to talk about that. But you have a lot of people now getting onto the WrestleMania card without necessarily having the biggest story. Some people do. LA Knight and AJ Styles is a story that's been told every week, right? But you're having things happen at WrestleMania that's now confirmed a little bit sooner than I anticipated, which is good because it looks like they're loading up these cards, especially because there's 2 nights. So AJ Styles attacks LA Knight. That match is also confirmed. So Jimmy and Jey Uso is confirmed for WrestleMania. LA Knight and AJ Styles is confirmed for WrestleMania. And now we have the U.S. Championship match confirmed for WrestleMania. So they do a match, Grayson Waller versus Randy Orton. Really fun, whatever. Logan Paul's ringside. There was some interaction between Logan Paul and Nick Aldis as GM. Logan Paul is really starting to get annoyed with Nick Aldis, and just really cool how they're doing these segments. I don't want to recap the segment for you entirely, but one thing that you need to know is before the segment ends, Logan Paul says Nick Aldis can't do his job because he can't set up his WrestleMania match. He doesn't even know who his WrestleMania opponent is. And this was cool because Logan Paul's on commentary or whatever. Grayson Waller, obviously, versus Randy Orton. Austin Theory's back there. Randy Orton gets the win, right? Randy Orton, obviously, he's the legend killer. He's, I'm not saying Grayson Waller is a legend, but nonetheless, it has nothing to do with what I'm saying, actually. But either way, my point that I'm making is that Randy Orton wins. You got this post-match beatdown. Logan Paul is trying to beat up Randy. Then Kevin Owens comes out to make the save. Randy almost hits an RKO on Kevin Owens. He doesn't even realize it. They stop. Kevin Owens hits a stunner on Austin Theory. This was a big pop because Kevin Owens hits the stunner on Theory. Theory jumps into an RKO by Randy Orton. It's funny. He's overselling. He's being really extra. But I got to give them all props here because every week this seems to be pretty damn entertaining. The stuff with Waller and Theory and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, like this has been really cool, right? But now you have this whole thing with Kevin Owens and Randy. Nick Aldis comes out as Logan Paul is trying to leave, and he says, Logan, here's your opponents for WrestleMania. Not opponent, but opponents. And that's where it got really cool because Logan Paul's like, oh no, what the fuck? But it's Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul, triple threat match at WrestleMania. That's what's happening there. So I don't know why not do a 6-man match or 8-man match or whatever, but they're doing a triple threat match. In my opinion, I would have preferred seeing LA Knight versus AJ versus Randy versus Kevin Owens versus Waller versus Theory versus Logan Paul or something like that. I would have been really happy to see a multi-person match, but they chose not to do that. Either way, LA Knight's getting a singles match at WrestleMania. Obviously, that is exciting. So I'm cool with that. And then you're going to have this triple threat match for the U.S. title. Does Logan Paul win? Does he retain his belt? Does he go to SummerSlam as U.S. champion? I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how they go about it. Because if they have Randy Orton win the U.S. title, which is a possibility, but if they have him win the U.S. title, there is some stuff you can do with Kevin Owens turning heel if you want. If you want to have Kevin Owens win the U.S. title and take it off Randy, you could. But I still think we have to get back to the point where it's inevitable LA Knight becomes U.S. champion. I would prefer to see LA Knight versus Logan Paul in a stadium show. So if it was Bash at Berlin or if it was Money in the Bank is in an arena, it's in Toronto. But if they do Bash at Berlin or SummerSlam or something like that, I don't know. But I think Logan Paul needs to drop the title at some point. I would like to see Logan Paul. He'll probably win because Prime is sponsoring the mat, right? At WrestleMania, you're going to see the Prime logo. So I think you'll see like an overhead shot with Logan Paul holding the US title and the Prime logo. But I think you also need to remember that, LA Knight can beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And then that's how you get LA Knight versus Logan Paul after. I think they want the visual of Logan Paul and the Prime logo on the mat with the title. I really think they want that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go about that. And obviously, my opinions can change once we get closer to the WrestleMania prediction show, but just kind of keep that in mind. I think we also need to talk about the tag team stuff. So bracket 1 is a little bit different than bracket 2. There was 2 tag team matches tonight for the 6-pack tag team ladder match. It's like a little mini tournament on SmackDown to decide who's going to qualify for the WrestleMania matches. So a tournament to qualify for a match. I like it personally. You're trying to put the tag team division back on notice. This is how you do it. So today, Legado del Fantasma beat LWO and Pretty Deadly lost to New Catch Republic. So now next week, it's going to be the OC versus another tag team and Authors of Pain versus the Street Profits, the OC versus somebody. I forgot everybody. Let me see. Let me just pull it up on Twitter at this point because I don't want to like mess with it. I don't want to get it wrong, but okay. Yeah. Street Profits versus Authors of Pain next week, OC versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So here's the thing, right? I can make this actually relatively easy for you guys. More than likely, the Street Profits versus Authors of Pain, it doesn't really matter who's going to win that match because winner of that match isn't necessarily guaranteed to go to WrestleMania. That's the funny thing, right? Because the winner of this match the winner of these matches have to verse the other teams, Legado del Fantasma and New Catch Republic. Then the winner will go to the thing. So I think Authors of Pain and the Street Profits it doesn't really matter how that match finishes because I think we're going to get a 6-man tag match at WrestleMania. Karrion Kross, the Final Testament, Karrion Kross with Authors of Pain versus Bobby Lashley at Street Profits at WrestleMania. That's my guess. The OC is doing some stuff on SmackDown and on NXT. I don't know. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I don't know. It's going to be really cool to see how they go about this, but I'm excited about that. I am really excited about that. Just kind of keep that in mind. That is something to pay attention to. We did get another super chat. Andre Benson dropping a $5 super chat. He says, hey, Ango, just getting on. Remember what we talked about last week with The Rock using his Hollywood theme? I think WWE watched your stream last week. My brother. It's true. It's true. I think so too. I think they watched it. I don't know how true that is, but it's cool, man. It's cool talking about things in wrestling and being right. But I'm glad that you remember our conversation, and I appreciate you remembering our conversation because I think right now wrestling is just so cool, right? I really do. I genuinely think it's been like really cool to watch. Celebrities are enjoying it. Everyday people are enjoying it. My friends are enjoying it. My friends who don't watch wrestling are enjoying it. I think it's really dope to see that be the case. I think at the same time, I find it awesome when I talk about something or when we talk about something here on stream, and then you start to see things being changed. This is not an AEW stream. We're talking about SmackDown. But to give you an idea, I have talked about SmackDown stuff or WWE stuff or AEW stuff and like things that I want to see changed, right? Guys, It's like actually happening. I'm not making up anything. You can watch my content. The people who watch my content and like actually listen to what I'm saying, you guys need to understand, like the real ones who pay attention understand. I've been saying, hey, WWE needs to go a little bit more grittier, change the look of it a little bit. That's what they've done. Hey, they need to stop doing all these camera cuts. They've done that, right? Like I have been asking people to literally just pay attention to the things that I want out of wrestling, and I'm seeing certain things happen. I'm not saying WWE is doing it for me, but what I'm saying is it's nice to know that there's things I want to see changed in pro wrestling and they're being changed. You know what I mean? And this year it's been really good for AEW and WWE. A lot of things I've really wanted was important. And that's really cool. Andre, thank you for the super chat, brother. Sorry it took me a minute to get to it. But obviously we were on a roll, so we want to keep that going. I hope Asuka is okay. She was limping at the end of the show. Yeah, I mean, look, there's no injury update or anything like that, but obviously once we find out what's going on, I don't know if it's a big deal or not. I was actually pretty concerned because if you guys saw the moonsault from Io Sky on Bailey, it actually looked like she landed on Bailey's head. So I was even concerned about that too. I just want people not to be hurt, man. Like going into WrestleMania, like it's obviously a very exciting time. I don't want to see any injuries, nothing like that, you know, nothing like that. Yeah, just overall, really. Connor, I'm going to address this for you. I seen your comments. I don't think you're very genuine with your criticisms, but I'll answer this one since it has to do with money. The show just started and you're already reading donations. I have, for the 10 years that I've ever done this, when somebody donates, I guarantee that I'm going to read their donations, their questions, their comments. I don't have a little time at the end where I say, I'm going to read all of these. No, I talk about it in real time because my shows are not a review show. Look at the title of the video. It's not called a review show. That's simple as it is. I think it's actually really funny, by the way, reading these kind of comments. Do I even review SmackDown? Dog, we just talking. That's our community. We just talking about wrestling. Nobody's forced to donate. Nobody has to. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. I don't know. I think sometimes it's just better to not be a little bitch in the comments of a live stream. But hey, that's just my opinion. Anyways, I won't remove you. You could watch in this entirety and enjoy the show. I just think it's funny. That's not the only comment. I'm reading several of your comments. You just love talking shit, my brother. But at the same time, too, it's not just the comments on my live streams that you leave. It's the ones I see in my videos. I'm the most interactive person on this YouTube stuff. I respond to a lot of stuff, but I guarantee that the people that donate to my channel, the people, which you guys don't, maybe you don't know this, but just so you guys are aware, I also get donations on my website. So let's just bring that up for a second. Maybe you guys didn't know this. If you go on my website, ango.live, there is a thing where you can donate and send a message. It could be $1, $2, $3, $100. It doesn't matter. And I get them regularly. Now, the thing is, these are things that it can't pop up on the stream because I use StreamYard. And I don't even really like talking about this type of shit, but I'm going to talk about this type of shit. Every day, I get several of them. And I guarantee a response with a video, a specific video that I broadcast from my phone to that person. I respond to everybody who donates. So that's yeah, tough luck, bro. Sorry that I care about my audience to respond to my audience every time when they're generous as fuck. When nobody has to, the least I could do is guarantee that I'm going to read a comment and give them the time they deserve. Anyways, let's move on. fucking weirdos, man. Anyways, on SmackDown, I want to talk a little bit about the LWO Legado del Fantasma thing, because this was another part for WrestleMania that kind of got me intrigued. Next week, it's Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. And people are like, well, why isn't that a WrestleMania match? And I think the reason why the singles match isn't on WrestleMania is because Legado del Fantasma versus LWO would be a massive match for, I think it would be a massive match for WrestleMania. And I don't know if they could get Bad Bunny. Jeez, I was having a brain fart. But if you could do LWO versus Legado del Fantasma, faction versus faction at WrestleMania, Zelina, everybody included, right? And you get Bad Bunny involved as well. Like, you have another massive match. Rey Mysterio and Legado, like Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar being a singles match on SmackDown is great because it gives me an incentive to watch SmackDown. That's how I look at it. And Miggy, great question. Do you think it will be a faction war street fight? Well, Bad Bunny had a fucking amazing street fight with Damian Priest at Backlash last year. So if I was WWE, I would try to replicate that between the factions. But it was cool because Rey Mysterio came back today looking jacked. Like, it was perfect, bro. It was absolutely perfect. I feel weird because that's like the whole thing with Dragon Lee. Like, I want to see him have 10, 15, 30 minutes, you know, like 10, 15 to 30 minute matches. I want to see him wrestle. WWE's not giving that to him, but I would love for that to happen. I think the best way to do it is LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. I think if you do Rey Mysterio, and this is where it gets tough, right? If you could do Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega. That's 3 right there. Then you have Cruz del Toro and obviously Joaquin Wilde. That's 5. That's not even me factoring Carlito. Damn, LWO was a huge faction. So Rey, Dragon Lee. Okay, would you guys rather have Dragon Lee or Carlito in a WrestleMania match? Because that's another thing that you got to factor in. But let's just say that. Let's say Carlito, or let's say Dragon Lee. So Dragon Lee, Mysterio, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro. That's 5. Then you have for Legado del Fantasma, Berto, which, by the way, they keep changing Umberto's name, but Berto, Garza, Santos, and Elektra Lopez. So they need one more. Or does somebody from the LWO switch sides? That could make it balanced out. Somebody from LWO would have to turn heel and join Legado del Fantasma. And that right there is probably what could happen next week on SmackDown, which would then create the 5-on-5 match. So does WWE have Dragon Lee turn heel or Carlito turn heel? Because those would only be the 2 options, considering LWO is like an actual tag team, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. That's how I look at it. Give me a second. There's some breaking news or something. Oh, it's nothing. Okay, never mind. I thought we were missing some big news. I don't know. Do you think we will see an Uncle Howdy in WrestleMania with his crew? No, I don't think so. I don't think Bo Dallas will be wrestling anytime soon, unfortunately. But yeah, I feel like Smack, all that stuff, man, it's been like pretty fire to see kind of how they're doing it. Like, it's fire to see that there's so many layers. It could, like, bro, if they turn Dragon Lee into a heel, imagine next week Rey Mysterio. Oh my God, that would be crazy. Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee turns on Rey. That sets up the 5-on-5 match at WrestleMania. And they could do it on the kickoff show too. They don't have to be on the main show, but just let them wrestle for like 20, 30 minutes, please. WWE would be so foolish if they didn't do that. So foolish. Triple H would be so dumb. Triple H would be the dumbest person in the world because Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde go on NXT. They go on SmackDown. Their video clips are going viral. It's all of these different things. Like it's a really dope thing to see. Like these guys are great wrestlers. They're all great characters. It's fucking the most logical storytelling. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that, like, for face value, it's just become really good TV. It's logical. I'm not asking for much. Dragon Lee turning could be really cool because then you could go and move on from Santos, right? Dragon Lee, you could do the whole thing with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, career versus mask or something like that. If you don't want Dom to retire Rey, I don't know. But there's a lot of cool shit they could do. Yeah. This is something to definitely pay attention to. Definitely something to pay attention to. Guillermo Lara says Carlito as a heel would seem natural. He seems better off as a heel. What do you think? I would never be opposed to that either, I swear. I would never be opposed to that. I genuinely wouldn't be. I think that would be kind of cool in my opinion. Honestly, I think that'd be kind of cool. They have done a really good job of like using tonight's episode of SmackDown to build towards WrestleMania. So now WrestleMania is more exciting. I thought WrestleMania would be 5 or 6 matches each night, and I can certainly tell you that's not the case. The amount of matches, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches are already confirmed. More are expected. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Reigns and The Rock versus Cody and Rollins. Becky versus Rhea. Bayley versus Io. Seth Rollins versus Drew. Jimmy versus Jay, AJ versus LA Knight, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, 6-team ladder match, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. 10 matches already confirmed for WrestleMania. Rick Carell is dropping a $5 super chat. He says, do we see Andrade getting involved with Ray and Dragon? This is an interesting thing because Andrade's been on Raw, right? With this whole thing with Dominic and nobody really knows what it's leading to. Some people are speculating maybe he goes to, like, it's a possibility that maybe he joins Judgment Day. I don't know. It's so crazy. So crazy. But if you want, you could get Andrade involved with it, but you have to do it logically considering that Andrade is literally on Raw. That's the problem, is that he is on Raw. Rick, I understood. When you put Dragon Level, I knew you meant Dragon Lee, but I got you. I see that. Just like really cool, in my opinion, to see what they do with Andrade because he's not actually like there's nothing I can see him doing at WrestleMania unless they do a battle royal of some kind, which I also think they should do. I think they should do the battle royals again. So I think that's a big aspect of it. You also have to factor in that the Judgment Day has to defend their tag titles at WrestleMania in the ladder match. So maybe Andrade, whatever's cooking between him and Dom and the Judgment Day, whatever is happening there, it's been very subtle and very light, but just potentially, maybe, just maybe he gets involved there. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Rick Corellas, thank you for your super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Cedric says, hey, they still have Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross, Bianca, who still need to be on the card. Last year, Bobby Lashley was pulled from the card because unfortunately the stuff that was happening with Bray Wyatt when he was pulled. So keep that in mind. That is something to consider as well. So I do think WrestleMania needs the final testament. We'll see. I don't know. This is so hard. This is what happens when you have a bloated roster and everybody has a story. There's one downfall. Not everybody could be on the card. God bless them. I do not want to be Triple H in that case. That's why I think the Battle Royals are the best idea. But you never know. Maybe the final testament, AOP, is part of the tag title thing. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how they go about it. I don't know how they go about that. Bianca and Naomi and Tiff and Jade, maybe not Jade. I don't know. But also you got to factor you got to factor them in. I think pre-show is the big thing. And you got to remember too, I talked about it in a video today where I said, hey, WWE is planning changes for their kickoff shows. They want it to be more like College Game Day, which is fascinating. That's cool. More matches help. So maybe that's the way you do it. Because you also have Indy Hartwell. You also have Candice LeRae. You have the women's tag titles now. You got to factor in a lot of those things too. A lot of people aren't talking about that. But you have more matches. And you got to factor in Nia Jax. And like, there's just so many people who could be left off the card. And I don't want to see that happen. I swear, I genuinely do not want to see that happen because I feel bad when that happens, especially because, like, obviously Bobby Lashley couldn't help the fact what happened last year. You know what I'm saying? But Bobby Lashley was left off the card, and it was chaotic, and it was weird, and it was so weird to me that nobody really knew what was going on. We just thought it was a creative decision or something like that, you know? I just want to see them do more pre-show matches. I think that helps. And pre-show is going to start like an hour and a half, 2 hours early anyways. Stack it, bro. While people are getting into their seats in the stadium, go from the pre-show. People in the IWC look at it like it's such a bad thing to be on the pre-show. And the way that I look at it is like it's beautiful because it's content. And content is everything for WWE. They are literally in the content creation business. The more content, the more matches that they tape, the more that they have for a library, the more valuable the library is, the more money they make. Yeah, I think kickoff matches, if they have significance, it's going to be great and it will be worth it. Tanya dropping a $5 super chat. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Do you think Damian Priest plays a role in Cody's match on night 2? I don't think he plays a role in Cody's match on night 2. My opinion on this could change, but in recent months, my belief has been that Damian Priest will not cash in at WrestleMania. My belief is that he will attempt to cash in on Raw the night after. And I don't know if he will be successful. My belief is that he was not going to be successful, and that would lead to him getting kicked out of the Judgment Day. That was my prediction as of months ago. I still don't change my mind on that. I don't want to see Damian Priest involved in Cody's match on night 2. I don't want to see him involved there. It doesn't make sense to have Money in the Bank involved there. But Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, perfectly fine. Now, if the tag team match is night 1, Damian Priest, because we know Drew versus Seth will be night 2, Damian Priest could, if you want, you can, and it's, instead of having him cash and fail in on Monday, the day after, you can actually have him try to cash in and make it a triple threat match and then lose. It just goes better even for Drew McIntyre. And then that could be Damian Priest. You know, he drops the tag titles at Mania and he lost Money in the Bank. He gets kicked out the Monday after. You can go that route as well. That would be cool. But I don't think he plays a role into Cody, Roman Reigns, any of that. I actually think WWE would be stupid for even attempting to do that at WrestleMania. If you want to do it during the build, sure, you can tease it, right? Tease the idea of Damian Priest walking out on SmackDown on the go-home show with the briefcase on the stage, looking at Roman or looking at Cody and looking at everybody. You can do that just to remind everybody, hey, pay attention, but he should not be involved at WrestleMania at all. Thank you for the super chat. I think I pronounced it correctly, Tanya or Tanaya. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. I apologize if I didn't. CD dropping a $4.99 super chat. Would you like to have SmackDown go to 3 hours when they move to USA? What do you think? This is the hardest question to answer, by the way. Hardest question to answer because of one reason specifically. I have not been too fond of Raw being 3 hours in the years past. In the last year, and really when Triple H took over Raw completely, watching 3 hours of Raw, easy. Easy. So, I can't be delusional. I think SmackDown being 2 hours has been a perfect pace. And I could see them going 3 hours on USA Network. I really do think they could. I could see it happening. For now, I don't think they should. For now. Let Raw be 3 hours on Netflix. When they move to Netflix, no more censoring. Let them say whatever the fuck they want. F-bombs all day. Let them do it. At motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They should just be able to swear as much as they want because it's Netflix. I was watching Fox, SmackDown on Fox, and The Rock was getting censored every 2 seconds, man. So what I would do is have Raw go 3 hours on Netflix, stay the same. Keep NXT 2 hours on CW. Keep SmackDown 2 hours on USA. But it is USA Network. They've had 3 hour Raw, 2 hour SmackDown. They might want that third hour. If they keep booking the way they are, dude, I can't complain. It's been great. Watching 3 hour Raws aren't even hard anymore. I went from watching 3 hours of Raw and literally going on stream, dude. It's the funniest thing because we bring this up every so often, but I would tell you guys, I'm like, dude, I would watch a 3 hour episode of Raw and just be like, fuck, I'm done. Don't care. I swear to God, it was really that bad. Like Raw was like miserable to watch. I would tell people, I would be like, this is literally my job to watch and I don't want to watch it. It's not like that anymore. But it doesn't mean it can't go back to that. So I just got to be completely honest with you guys. For now, keep it at 2 hours. But if you decide to do it 3 hours, if you do decide to go 3 hours, I do not want Friday night SmackDown. I want it to be on Tuesday night. And I will never change my mind about this. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night SmackDown, Wednesday night or Thursday night NXT. No more on Fridays. Pay-per-views on Saturday or Sunday. Personally speaking, for me, just for my own personal taste, I would much rather have pay-per-views on Sundays. It pisses people off. I don't care. For some reason, this went viral on Twitter because I said pay-per-views should be on Sunday. And people are like, well, I have to work Monday or I have school Monday. And I get it and I understand. But when I talk for my own personal desire, just me, my own experience, I hate pay-per-views on Saturdays. I'd much rather have them on Sundays. Sundays are a day of relaxation. Saturdays are not. Sundays, pay-per-views, they just seem to be great. I would move things around. Interestingly enough, I think WWE might move Raw off of Mondays, though. So we'll see what happens there. But you really just never know. CD, thank you for the super chat. YouTube actually alerted me. That's the third one you've ever dropped. So that's pretty cool. Thank you. Celebration. Kudos to you. Appreciate that. Let me see if I have the ability. I've been waiting for YouTube to enable gifted memberships for my channel. For me to personally gift people memberships. And for some reason, I still can't do it. It's like a block on my account or something. I don't know. Just really strange. I don't know when I'll be able to do it. But when I am able to do it, I will do it. I definitely want to gift people some memberships. So stay tuned to that. Definitely stay tuned to that. Let's see. When is WWE getting a new stage? Great question. I talked about this before. I have no inside source on this. It was just something that I've heard. It was a little mumble. The time that I was told was when WWE debuts new TV deals. And that was like a year ago. If you guys find my video from a year ago, I said it was when they get the new TV deals going. So we'll see. We'll see how that happens or how that all goes down. Maybe they do it sooner. Maybe they don't. I don't know. That is something to keep in mind, though. I do think they should do the new stages. Excuse me. I'm in pain. I rolled my ankle today. And in addition to that, just been a long day, been in the gym, all that good stuff. I rolled my ankle playing soccer. Well, we call it soccer in America, but if you're an international viewer, you might call it football. So I rolled my ankle. Wasn't that good, but yeah, just really cool. Really, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, all been fire this week. Genuinely proud, by the way, of you guys. I want to give you guys some love. We've been doing these live streams. They all perform incredibly well. And truth be told, it's a Friday night. And I chose to stay in tonight. I was watching SmackDown. I was like, damn, this is great. SmackDown's great. And just the fact that you guys spend your time with me again can never go unnoticed. I appreciate it. I genuinely do. Because more than anything, I know you guys can pull up and leave and dip. But when you guys are out here engaging in the chat and you're cool as hell, I appreciate that, man. Like I genuinely appreciate it, because I think what I'm noticing too, and I'm just going to be completely transparent, I'm going to tell you guys something. I love this. I genuinely love this. I'll never stop loving this. But there's people out there that I see how they'll talk to certain people in the chat and they'll be argumentative, and it like ruins my mood. I see people in Discord or in the live stream chats and they're like arguing with each other about this stuff. Guys, it's wrestling. It's TV. It's entertainment. Like, chill the fuck out, you know? I think it's cool when I sit here and talk with you guys about wrestling. I think it's cool that we can interact about wrestling and have these conversations on these live streams and do this on a weekly basis. And right now it's a Friday night and you guys can be out and about, or I could be out and about, but we choose to come together to talk about wrestling, and it's like actually fun. And I appreciate that. It's just rad. I see Cedric also asking about the 2K live stream. It's a possibility. It's honestly a possibility. I for sure have to ice my ankle. So give me a little bit of time if I do. It's about 11 p.m. Eastern. So I think for a fact I'm going to ice my ankle for a little bit, maybe for an hour. And yeah, I'll be dope. If I get on 2K, you guys will know. Guys, if you're not in the Discord, I don't know. Does my link to Discord work on in the chat or in the description? Yeah? Okay. If you're not in Discord, do that. Get in the Discord, guys. If you have Xbox, I will be happy to play with you tonight. I have to ice my ankle though. I'm just being honest. I'm gonna grab water, ice my ankle, sit down for a little bit, relax, and then I think we could do 2K for sure. How come JD from New York 206 didn't like the show? I don't know. I'm obviously I'm streaming right now, so I don't know what JD has said about it, but everybody has different things that they like or dislike. You guys know me. I do not like anything else. Anybody could be a content creator. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. I'm not interested in how people's opinions change from me or how my opinion, let me explain this correctly. I don't want my opinion to change your opinion. I'm not here to do that. I don't think JD wants to do the same. I don't know. I can't speak for other people. We're all content creators and we all have our own opinions. And I think the best thing is to have different opinions, because those create great engagement. Thank you, Chester, for pulling up. I'm riding solo, baby. I'm riding solo. Everything's based on schedules, and the only thing I could control is my schedule. So we ride solo. Calvin, I did want to answer this too. I was going to bring this up. The way Theory is booked is really dreadful. Dude went from John Cena at WrestleMania to essentially doing. He's fine in the role that he is in, but it's nothing. He wasn't from the perspective of somebody who wrestles John Cena at Mania to now dealing with this. It is a little bit of a fall for grace. But I will tell you, I enjoy watching him. SL with the RKO and all that stuff, the stunner, it'll be cool. And I'm getting a phone call, and it's an important one. So I will call you guys, or I'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Thank y'all. Peace.